Hello everyone, I'm Tina from Gas School. Welcome to our C Talk today. Now we are in the exhibition hall of A2MAC1, a global service provider of engineering and technological benchmarking of two automotive industry. We will have a conversation with Frank, CEO of A2MAC1, about their benchmarking analysis services, strategic layouts, and their insights on the development of automotive industry, as we can see. So Frank, nice to meet you today. Welcome to Shanghai Auto Show 2023. At the very first beginning, can you give us a brief introduction about your company?
Sure, Tina, happy to do so. First of all, welcome to A2MAC1. I have to say it's a great pleasure for me to be back in China after so many years where we weren't able to visit. A2MAC1 started its business in 1997, originally based out of France. Today we are a global service provider. We have 18 locations, creating data to support our customers with competitive intelligence services.
Yeah. Last time you visited China 10 years ago, a decade ago.
Exactly.
Everything changed.
Oh, everything changed and the city almost feels completely 100% different.
Yeah. Have you been around the Shanghai Auto Show yet?
Yes. So I have been very fortunate to be here already since last weekend. When we established the booth here on Monday, we had a chance to explore a little bit. Yesterday was a fantastic day. My legs hurt. We went all across all halls to really discover latest technology, latest insights, newcomers, to check the foreign brands, to check everything.
Wow. How's the impression about this auto show?
Oh, it's an incredible event and it's outbeat my expectations before I came here. So many impressions, it will take me a few days to digest.
As a consulting company, service provider, what kind of products or services or solutions you bring this year?
Exactly. So historically, we started with creating data points in terms of technology benchmarking, from tearing down vehicles, that's where the process starts, to over the last 5 years, transforming the company more into a service and solution provider to help our customers to derive more intelligence insights from the tear down information we create in our centers all around the world.
So when we talk about benchmark, you cover almost every field of the vehicles.
Exactly. So today we cover the fields in terms of platforms from micro EV to heavy duty truck. But we also cover all markets worldwide with having a tear-down presence established in all major automotive hubs around the world.
Yeah, now we see the trends of the smart EV. Yes. People talk about it everywhere, and we also see a lot of newcomers, new technology in this field. So when we talk about the smart EV, what kind of key technology you think are most important based on your experience?
Well, I would almost call it a smart device instead of a smart car or smart EV. So it's very interesting to see latest technology trends and also newcomers in the market. Call it Huawei, who came from consumer technology and now moving into this field. I think the key 3 trends we see here, it's the electric powertrain for certain. The second one is the infotainment and the user experience. But also what is very interesting to see on how cars become not just, let's say, an asset to take you from A to B, but almost become more, such as a living room and even, let's say, a driving office.
Yeah. When we talk about the smart EV's powertrain, that's the energy management technology is very important. It's a key factors. Can you give us more insights on this field? Especially, you do a lot of benchmark analysis.
Exactly. Yeah. So historically, we have been doing very static analysis of technology we see, but over the last few years, we also moved more into, call it, performance management on battery electric vehicles to create kind of a standardized platform to allow to have various powertrain technologies from various segments analyzed in terms of the technology deployed, the performance, the system level design and architecture, but also most importantly, the cost of the system, but also the sustainability footprint. As we are moving from ICE into battery electric technology, more and more customers are also getting really interested in what is the total, call it, carbon footprint of those systems and vehicles over a lifetime.
Yes, through the benchmark, in which kind of aspects you can help your customer get more insights?
Exactly. So right now, the biggest the biggest insights in terms of demand we actually see is, let's face the reality, you have seen a lot of OEMs, especially in this market, entering into a very, call it, aggressive pricing strategy. So we see a high demand on analyzing those platforms by competitors, local and global, to really understand on how can they build, let's say, profitable platforms, hence being very aggressive on pricing.
It will help them learn much quicker.
Exactly.
Yeah, to face the test competition.
Exactly. So with our location here in Shanghai, over the last years, we have significantly increasing our bandwidth because you have, let's say, more than 100 brands, so it's hard to cope up with the market. You have newcomers coming still into the market today, and what we have been developing is a very rapid way of assessing, and then within the full vehicle between 4 and 6 weeks, and then going deeper over time into certain areas of interest for our customers.
Yeah, we get used to the traditional automotive industry is very stable, and we follow the certain trends. But in the smart EV era, everything become more quicker, more faster. Have you?
So my impression, and you asked for this, Tina, after being here on this show 2 days, I feel here everything goes at least 10 times faster than the traditional markets we see elsewhere. Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah.
We get used to that already.
Exactly, you got used to that, but no, it's everything is happening here at a more rapid pace, both in terms of design, development, execution, which comes with its own challenges. Hence, we also serve a lot of, call it, suppliers in the industry to be able to cope up with the, call it, rapid change in terms of technology development of the OEMs themselves.
Yeah, we see that the company, if they want to keep up with the speed of the development, sometimes they can depend on themselves, sometimes they can by leverage the resources of others or even acquisition. So for your company, your A2MAC1 also acquisites two companies.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you give us more detail about that?
Yes, so what we have seen is with the rapid evolution of the market, the demands in terms of data to enable, let's say, more rapid product development cycles has been changing. So what we have seen is the tear down and the reverse engineering and what's in the vehicle is just the starting point. It's more important to answer and address to our customers why things are changing, how can we cope up, what's the value for us. One of the concrete examples we have seen over the last few months is that the use of benchmarking data is moving way more upstream at concept phase to also drive more standardization across the industry, to really focus on what is the unique differentiating part in my vehicle or in my asset or in my smart device to the market, which also means that there are less differentiating components. We see more and more standardization in the industry to drive also decarbonization of the industry. And I think here, with our extensive database of over 2,000 vehicles we have analyzed in the past, more than 50 million components, including all the supplier sources, lots of the cost information. I think it's another way we can help OEMs to more rapidly develop new models and launch them to market.
So you go in depth in the services?
Yes. So we go more deeper to analyze deeper and not document only the what, but also the why.
The why.
And how can I take the why of the best in class or the best or the cheapest in class components and competitors, improve my vehicle profitability, but more importantly is also how can I take vehicles faster to market. And I think here, China is leading by example. If you see that the speed of development of vehicle launches is much faster than in, call it, rest of world markets.
When you mention the service and go further step, can you give us some best practice?
Yes. So in terms of services or go faster is interesting conversations here over the last couple of days that, 12 months ago, the service we have developed to go really deep in understanding the cost of on component level or system level is right now not enough, because the OEMs are demanding more to, for instance, have not only the cost information, but also the sustainability impact, like the carbon impact of the component. Yeah.
Last year, you also analyzed the Tesla's Model S and the Benz EQS.
Yes.
Any interesting findings?
That's a very tricky question, right? Besides those two, we analyzed many more vehicles here in the market. What is really interesting that there is, I would say, a much higher demand in terms of local vehicles analyzed than, call it, foreign companies trying to compete in this market. So that's number one. The other one, I think there has been a very high demand to understand the different integration strategy between the platforms. That's also something which has been in high demand. And then, of course, to see the sourcing strategy and the cost situation of those two platforms.
Yeah. So we see there is two different ways. One way is Tesla's way. They follow their own mindset and they did it in their own way. Another one is the traditional one. Of course, the traditional one is involved all the time. What's your point of view on these two kinds of way when we're talking about the automotive industry?
The advantage of any newcomer, and I would say Tesla is not that newcomer anymore, but still relatively young company. You see that they start from scratch without any legacy. So sometimes their approaches are much more disruptive. And I think also here we see why with our new insights we create, we try to more and more learn from those new ways and to help others in the market to educate them on how to, let's say, disrupt and also challenge a little bit of their old legacy.
Yeah, exactly. In China this year, actually for automotive industry, it's not an easy year because at the very beginning, we start the pricing war in our local market. So the demands for the analysis benchmark, I guess, will increase rapidly. So have you prepared for that?
Yes, we have prepared for that for two reasons. And yes, you're completely right. The price war, whether this is by Tesla or by local OEMs, has triggered a very rapidly increasing interest in providing an outside-in view on the total cost assessment. A fresh pair of eyes, right? That's number one. The second one is also there are players who don't want to go into the price war, who also come to us and say, what are other ways of competing and how can I improve the usability, the user experience of my product to make it more compelling to justify the price increase by value to my end customers and consumers. So
exactly.
It's not only cost, it's also how can you help me to gather market insights and how I can better reach the end customer, the consumer.
What kind of vehicles you are going to analysis in next step?
So also coming back to the previous question, are we prepared for that? Yes. A2MAC1 over the last, I would say 18 months has more than doubled the capacity in terms of bandwidth to support local customers in this market. We are continuing this growth journey, and in the next 12 months, we'll eventually more than double the number of staff we have on the ground in China, which is a key market for us going forward, to serve customers locally, but also provide insights of local market to the rest of the world. And next year, we also doubled the capacity in terms of vehicles to be analyzed, and we are trying to find a good mix by, let's say, trying to identify the front runners in terms of new technology, but at the same time also we will work with our customers to see where their demand is, which platforms are coming out, which ones do they want to understand better.
Yeah, so you will talk to your customers, which are they most interested in?
Exactly. So right now we see a lot of interest, to just mention a few names, in NIO. NIO is certainly somebody who is in high interest locally, but also globally. Zika. But it really differentiate. We today serve, Tina, 95% of the top 500 players in the auto industry worldwide. So we have a very broad spectrum of interest, from small segment to, call it, large, even commercial vehicles.
Yeah. We just talked about some traditional OEM, the new startup companies, and including Tesla. So from your point of view, what kind of challenges and also opportunities on the smart EV development?
So I think we will see at one point in time, the addressable market, the end consumer addressable market I think, is growing slowly thanks to the price war. So basically, with the price reduction, the battery electric vehicles will become more affordable. At the same time, I think we will see a significant trend that the price reduction will continue for a certain period of time. Hence, the commercial pressure on almost all OEMs, including Tesla, I would say, in order to sustain this trend and not outprice or not, let's say, drop the profitability and run into other challenges as a business, people need to become more open-minded, improve their sourcing strategies, find alternative suppliers. But I think a key trend we see is drive more standardized content in vehicles across platforms and even across brands.
Okay, so that will be one advantage for those who have already successful in the market.
Exactly, yeah.
Anything else through the benchmark, you can see a lot of cars, how they design, why they design this way. So can you give us more insights?
So I think, look, the other trend we see is, and we hear here by talking to people in the market, is how to grow and be successful outside of China. So the trend,
international.
Yeah, going international. So, and I think we have a huge interest in our market insights as we well understand the global markets for more than 25 years to see is how can we help them in their globalization or internationalization strategy.
So your service actually cover a much bigger field,
exactly.
More than benchmark.
Yes, so we start from technology, over performance, over cost, over sustainability. We just recently made a big investment in a company to also add the full software benchmarking capabilities for the vehicle. And as you said earlier, look around here on the show, with more multimedia, with more devices, with more technology, with a trend towards further autonomy, the software component in the vehicle becomes more relevant. Also here, we help our customers to better understand the software strategy, whether it's make or buy, how they license, how they create new, let's say, revenue generating business models in the vehicle. That's where I invest towards sustainability. And then at the end of the day, market insights, how do I best price myself into a particular market?
Yes. Till now, how many cars have you already analyzed?
So today in our database, we have more than 2,100 vehicles. And when I say 2,100.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and
that's a museum.
It is a museum. I mean, we do have more than 55 million components documented. I think we claim, because we haven't found somebody else who has a larger kind of, call it, automotive database in the world. And right now we do between 130 and 150 new vehicles every year. And when I say vehicle, again, it's from micro EV to heavy duty truck.
So cover large range.
Large range across multiple platforms, because you can still in truck development learn from what is deployed in a micro EV. So that's the other thing is we compare apple to banana, but in a way that you can derive insights what's relevant for your next future development. And also we looked into other, let's say, markets like two-wheeler electrification, for instance, commercial vehicles.
So you have a huge database.
Yes.
How to leverage the resources and benefits for customers?
Exactly. We see also a trend, the more data you have, the more important will become the analytics you can put on top of the data to help the customer to understand what's relevant for me. And hence we also transformed the company to, on top of the data, provide insights, which I would call smart analytics, but also we are now on the way to launch further solutions to also allow the customer to leverage the analytics and the call it, intelligence we built to process their own data. So A2MAC1, you will see in the coming years, we also will launch more solutions to also digitalize the product development experience.
Yeah. A2MAC1 actually is a global company for more than 26 years.
That's correct.
You gain a lot of experience.
Yes.
Yeah. As a global company, how about the business portion in different regions?
Yes. So today, our business, again, we have 18 offices all around the world. We are on each continent, as we have close to 900 customers we are serving in each major automotive hub worldwide. The revenue split today, if you see, is probably 40% of our business today is in Asia, including China. Our fastest growing business is certainly Asia. Why? I mean, our legacy started early or mid-90s in France. We then rapidly expanded all over Europe. Then we entered the US, and only most lately we entered in Asia. When I say most lately, in China we are present since 2010. Yeah.
You've been just entered Turkey as well?
Exactly.
This year?
Yes. So also Turkey has a very interesting, Turkey is the 14th largest automotive country by definition. So a big driver of the Turkish GDP growth comes from automotive. Very interesting. You just probably recently saw a newcomer entering the market with TOGG. So very interesting customer of ours. But what is very interesting in Turkey is the local supply base. With more than 500 local suppliers exporting 60% of their business all around the world.
All around the world.
Yes. However, traditionally very, call it combustion engine suppliers, or more for ICE vehicles. And now also they can greatly benefit from our insights to help them to diversify their offering and transform themselves into also supplying the global BEV community.
Yeah, now I better understand that with a huge database, actually you can serve different demands from different regions and countries and customers.
Exactly. Yeah, we can not only serve different demands by just market level information, but also we are highly flexible the way we can package the data and the solution to serve from raw material provider to full vehicle OEM.
So we talk about China market. People usually say the fastest speed is one figure of China market. Besides that, what kind of other differences you found out?
Here?
Yeah, here.
Okay. So first of all, the speed. We talked about it a lot. The variety of brands, but also the diversification of the vehicle in terms of, call it, the design, the usability, the experience, and the concepts. Very different.
How to cope up with these local demands? With so many diversify and they are eager to learn the latest technology, need the flexible, need the speed. So as a service provider company, how to keep up with your local demands from China?
Oh, it's very interesting. First of all, it's challenging to pick the right vehicles to analyze, as we discussed earlier, as there are just so many and so many launches. But I would say the best way for us to keep up is also drive a lot of, call it, optimization in the way we do the analysis. Right. So I said earlier we are developing a lot of solutions which are leveraging also latest technology. Like we invest a lot in call it R&D, artificial intelligence, to be able to provide solutions and process more data in a shorter period of time, and make the data more valuable, but also almost speak for itself to the customer. Okay.
Through system. Not just people, right?
Exactly. Through, let's say, automation and system.
Oh, okay. Last but not least, what's your expectation for China market?
My expectation?
Yeah.
I would say it's more like being in the European is also not only an expectation, but something I learned here is that probably in terms of technology, what I've seen here and experienced over the last 2 days, this market is definitely leading and way advanced than many other markets. So that's number one. My expectation is that there is a stronger also push into the world. I think with a lot of newcomers we see here, they can really help also to shape the future of mobility, not only in China, but across the world. The expectation here at one point in time I will see is probably we will see a bit more consolidation, because I mean that you already see this. I mean, maybe some of the top will eat some of the bottom, but overall, I mean the expectation I would have is that, you know, keep up the speed, keep up challenging the rest of the world. And because I think it's creating a healthy competition in the automotive ecosystem worldwide.
Okay, thank you, Frank. Thank you for accepting our interview. Very informative conversation.
Okay, thank you very much, Tina.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.